p.m. and we are in the boardroom. Can we all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Baldwin, welcome to Maple Heights.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Would you mind doing our roll call, please?
Okay. Mrs. Cheeks?
Here.
Ms. Granger?
Here.
Ms. Shepherd?
Present.
Mr. Blackwell?
Here. Next, we will have a report from our superintendent.
To President Blackwell, Vice President Shepherd, members of the board, and to Treasurer Baldwin, good evening.
Good evening.
I just have a few updates that I wanted to share with the board and to share with the public. First, I know that there has been a lot of news media going around regarding school funding and federal funding. For Maple, we have received our Title I funding, which funds a large portion of our elementary schools and our middle school programs. We also have received our IDEA money. That is our money that we mostly spend for our special education services and our students who are receiving those services. So we have received our funding for that. I believe the week of, I don't remember exactly what week it was, but as you've heard, we still do not have Title II money, Title III, or Title IV. Title II money is the money that we usually spend for our professional development. Title III is usually what we spend on our English as a second language learners. And then Title IV is usually what we spend on some of the extracurricular activities. We use Title IV for our after-school program at the high school because the high school doesn't get Title I funds. So those are all on hold. We had received notice that we weren't going to get the 21st Century Grant. I know that's another one that has been out in the news a lot. But they just recently, we received notification from ODE that they were going to give us our funding at least for this year. So we will be able to run our 21st Century After School program at Obama and also at Milkovich. As far as the rest of the money, we'll just keep you guys updated as we hear more. But I know that there are a lot of people out there that are wondering, how Maple is being impacted. So we have some of our federal funding, but not all of it that we will need for this school year. The second thing I would like to announce is the next Music in the Park is on August 5th, and we will be there with our staff. So we have families out there who would like to come. We will be at Stafford Park for Music at the Park, and we also are doing a Fill the Bus initiative. So we will be collecting school supplies from the community on that night, and we're going to try to fill a school bus with school supplies. So we will have both of those items there at the Music in the Park. We're actively enrolling students. We're also in the process of just going through and making sure we have updated records. So we've started to reach out to families that need to update their information. And then last but not least, we have our big back to school rally on August the 16th. That's a Saturday, 10 to 2 at the high school. We have several people, vendors, organizations that have signed up to attend. So we are extremely excited about our kickoff to back to school. And then on Monday, August 18th, that's going to be our transition day. And transition day is usually where we have the new grade in each school attend by themselves so they can get acclimated to the school. They can get to know staff in a more one-on-one way. So our kindergarten students will attend that day at Lincoln. Our second grade students will attend that day at JFK. Our fourth grade students will attend at Obama. Our sixth grade students will attend at Milkovich. And then our ninth grade students will attend at the high school. We will be doing freshman pictures on that day, transition day, because they're all going to have student IDs this year. So we want to make sure that we don't delay getting those IDs. We are actually going to have barcodes on the student ID, so we can, when kids come in, they can scan, like if they're late, so we don't have to take time to do passes. And also, I'm not sure the students are going to like this at the high school, but we're going to have them check in when they go into lunch, so we can kind of minimize students who are having 2 or 3 lunches and not going to class. So it's something new that we're going to try out. We think it will help us with safety. We think it will help us with accountability. So the freshmen will be having pictures on that transition day, so we can get those ID badges made. And then all students, all grades, will attend on Tuesday, August 19th. So these are all of the things that we're preparing for, getting ready for the new school year. So that really concludes my report, because it's more or less just give you guys some updates about what's going on and let the public know the things that are up and coming. And then there's a couple of people here that are going to have some program or initiatives to present to the board today. So I'll turn it over to Mr. Bob Ivory.
Good
evening.
President Blackwell, Vice President Shepard, Superintendent Delafleur, I appreciate the opportunity, educators, community members, for this opportunity to revisit this great chamber again. My name is Bob Ivory, and I direct the Students of Promise Closing the Achievement Gap Initiative here in Cuyahoga County. I'm also the executive director of a soon-to-open, also Student of Promise-driven homeless transitional facility for women and children in Cleveland Heights, hopefully to open its doors this fall. Ms. Wright started a slide, and it's basically a rotating image, I believe, of outcomes that I put together, took from our website and various outlets. So what I'm going to speak to, you visually will see actual evidence, outcomes, and lives that we've touched over the last 15 years. Just a brief overview of my background for those that may not know me. I bring nearly 35 years of experience in youth program development, community outreach coordination, and collaborative leadership for at-risk youth. I was formerly a correction officer. I was a 10-year correction officer at Cuyahoga Hills facility. I'm a former project manager for the Closing the Achievement Gap Initiative statewide under the leadership of former Governor Ted Strickland and the late Senator C.J. Prentice, which was a $20 million initiative. I'm also the former special assistant to the first county executive and legislative liaison to Cuyahoga County prior to launching Students of Promise in the San Francisco Unified School District, where I parted Cuyahoga County for a few years, returning in 2014, and there launching in the inner ring suburbs Students of Promise Closing the Achievement Gap Initiative. The Student of Promise program model from policy to practice. Ohio's Closing the Achievement Gap Initiative originally began in 2007. It was a statewide initiative to address persistent disparities in graduation and achievement and opportunities, especially at the time, targeting African American males. Again, under the leadership of former Governor Ted Strickland and the late Senator C.J. Prentice, in which I believe appropriately named the transitional living facility that will open in Cleveland Heights. It's a former convent of St. Louis Catholic Church, in which I named Prentice Place in her honor of her legacy and her well-documented contributions in education and as an advocate. Students of Promise, I believe, is the fully realized, I say, community-driven version of that original Closing the Achievement Gap model. Incorporated as a nonprofit organization. Murtis Taylor Human Service Systems has been my fiscal agent for the last 12 years, which is combined 50 years of servicing in Northeast Ohio. And I would say Students of Promise is now defined as that comprehensive, it's a research-based, evidence-based model tailored to the academic, social, and emotional needs of students that might be at most risk of not graduating on time. I'm going to preface this next statement because it's a question that I often get in presenting, especially locally in the region, because CTAG is such a synonymous brand. When you say CTAG, obviously closing the achievement gap. So I'm always faced and confronted with what's the difference between CTAG and Students of Promise. So without going through the history that I had the privilege of creating the CTAG model alongside my mentor, late C.J. Prentice, I always respond that CTAG is the name closing the achievement gap. It's the effort and the original policy aiming to close the achievement gap in the state of Ohio. I actually remember the day in the governor's office for closing the achievement gap in 2007. I had the also privilege that I lived in Columbus for those 3 years in Westerville as the regional project manager. And I remember when we were preparing for, we had a state conference where 2,000 educators came from all across Ohio. And I remember in our office, and we said, when we was putting literature together, we said, why don't we just call it CTAG? And it's easy to remember. The acronyms speak for themselves, so that is actually the origin of CTAG as we know it today. But as I progressed Students of Promise, I would characterize it as this. It is, I believe, that enhanced, elevated, and evolving program model that harnessed the original ideal, integrating the best practices, robust mentorship, holistic support, and direct interventions proven, I believe, to drive both academic and personal growth development in our targeted youth. It has evolved, as I stated, to the extent that the county has given me resources through the ARPA grant to launch a transitional living facility in Cleveland Heights, because in that community, it was brought to my attention that there was a significant homeless population in their student body. So when I came across this facility, I proposed it to the county and worked with that district to say, I think I can help solve that or meet that need of, it's hard to close an achievement gap when a student is unhoused or homeless. The core components, and I believe the superintendent shared with you some literature that I provided, but I'm just going to run through it kind of quickly just so, I kind of set the backdrop of what our practices are. The core components and the best practices, which I believe are synonymous, in some of the practices you may also be implementing with the CTAG program here at Maple. Obviously, academic achievement and support, in-school pull-out and classroom sessions and monitoring. We also have had some success where the Student of Promise program / curriculum was actually an elective on their schedule. So they actually went to a Students of Promise classroom at a certain time during the day, had a curriculum, was followed by a linkage coordinator that implemented it. There's also structured parent and community engagement, weekly outreach to parents and guardians, and interactive workshops, family nights. Like I say, a lot of those images are like that's the family night where a podcast is taking place with Congresswoman Shontel Brown on the screen now. Summer Bridge programming for incoming freshmen. I can't take the credit for that component as I was in Upper Bound myself many moons ago. I just turned 60 the other day, so we know how many moons that was. But that whole Summer Bridge concept, I remember being a Summer Bridge student when I was in Upper Bound at Baldwin-Wallace. Exposure field trips, college tours, historical museums, leadership retreats, teen summit that we do annually. Since 2014, Students of Promise has visited over 30 colleges and universities in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Atlanta, Alabama, North Carolina, San Francisco, and in 2003, we took 8 students to Ghana, West Africa, and that was made possible by a grant that I successfully received through the Congressional Direct Spending through Senator Sherrod Brown, an experience that changed my life, and let alone the students that we that we accompanied. The major highlight and the major best practice is the designated on-site linkage coordinator, which we called in Columbus the epicenter of the initiative. They lead case management, helping to bolster academic achievement, direct mentorship, advocacy. Student of Promise coordinator is not just a routine mentor. It's not, they don't just, it's not a cut and paste programmatic kind of check the box interaction they have with students. As I am proud to have helped design the original term and the role of the linkage coordinator some 18 years ago, Students of Promise linkage coordinator at the time was actually in the Ohio Revised Code. When this model was created in 2007, Senator Prentice literally went to the state on the floor and got into legislation the actual word, term, roles, expectations of a linkage coordinator that at the time was in the Ohio Revised Code. And the reason why I state that parenthetically, because that's the serious, the urgency, and also the nature of where the model originated to the fact it was actually in the Ohio Revised Code. And so what I did, and I wanted to take a couple of minutes and 2 minutes in actual time, because I asked a colleague who was linkage coordinator, and I would say probably the epitome of the linkage coordinator. When we created this role in 2018, Ms. Wright was actually the person and the type of professional that has led students. So if she could just for a couple of minutes just speak specifically to what she has done as a Student of Promise linkage coordinator, and then I'll close.
Greetings, everybody. Thank you so much for giving me 2 minutes of your time. As you see, I got some papers here because it's always better to look at things as opposed to always hearing them. I know I need things in front of me because sometimes I might tune out. But I am a linkage coordinator. Totally love my job, love what I do, and I do it successfully. How? Well, I figured out a way to kind of harness my superpowers. If you guys are familiar with that word, you all know that we all have a superpower, something that we're really good at and that we do easily that maybe nobody else does quite like we do. So I was able to figure out, how can I connect with these students fast? How can I get their parents to buy in and build a relationship not only with their student but with me as well? And then how can I also kind of make things that they may grown to, like reading, more fun? So one of the very first things that I do when I get a student is I give them a questionnaire that says, I am someone who. And I'll pass this around. You guys can just kind of look through it. These are just two different old students. They're like in their 20s now, so don't even worry about it. But I give them this, and they fill it out, and I get a chance to look at it, and we also get a chance to talk about it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And every day when the students come into my classroom, not only do they have to sign in, but they also have to give me an I am statement. So I'm able to look at that if they say I am hungry, I am sleepy, I am bored, I am scared, I'm able to tap into that and pull them aside and see what's really going on and peel back some layers to figure out what it is that these students need to get them to graduate. It's a lot of SEL, yes, but also sometimes they just don't know. Nobody's ever poured into them and told them that they can be a superintendent, they can be a school board president, they can be a doctor, they can be a career that maybe they haven't even heard of because they can only probably name 10 things that they know, a nurse, a teacher, a basketball player, but there's so much more to life than just those things. So I'm able to tap into that based off of just them signing in on that paper, giving me an I am statement. I also talk a lot about time management because they need to know how to manage their time. Maybe this is why they aren't getting good grades. They don't know how much time to study or how much time to put towards that. In addition to that, because I'm gonna go this way with these papers, in addition to that, I'm also able to connect with the teachers. How do you connect with the teachers? It's important because the teachers see these kids every day. So the teachers, I want them to be able to call me, text me, email me, and say, hey, Miss Erica, Michael isn't doing his work, or Michael needs to make up a test. Because I've built a rapport and relationship with Michael, I'm able to get Michael to complete this test for Ms. Hajarski. And so one way that I do that to figure out what's going on in the classrooms is every week or bi-weekly, I have the kids take this progress sheet to the teachers. In every classroom, these teachers fill it out. And they'll leave me notes, or they'll tell me where their grades are, they'll tell me what's missing. Then I'm able to come back to Michael and say, hey, what's going on in math class? What's going on in English class? Why didn't you turn this assignment in? Well, we got a field trip coming up. Do you want to go? Okay, you need to get this work in. And it works. I'm just going to show you guys these two things real quick. So you guys have the sheet. This is time management, the worksheet that I do. You're welcome. And then, of course, connecting parents. A lot of issues that we see, that I see in schools, is the parent and their child are having a not a pleasant relationship. Maybe the parent and the teachers aren't having a parent relationship. So what I've done is, not only do I sort of do activities with the students, but I also do activities with the parents as well. So one thing that I do is that I send home this parent and peer paper, and I have the parents fill this out. Now, this is one of my favorite and actually most impactful program events that I do within the program. Because after the parents fill this paper out, I'll pass this around, I do a project called Becoming. So I take something positive that the parent wrote on this paper that you guys will see in a minute, and I print it up in real big letters. So it may say something, so Kalea's mom may have said, remember, don't quit, keep the faith. And so I'll print it out and I put it in a big piece of paper. And then I also have the kids come up with, what is it that you want to do? Who is it that you want to become? What are some things that you want to do in the future? So we create this list, and then I send this home so the parents, I read it to the kids, and they're all like, oh my God, I didn't know my mom knew me. Oh my God, I didn't know my dad cared about me. Really? Right? And so then I have the kids come up with a headline for their future selves. What could the newspaper say about you in your future? So I had a student who wanted to become a behavior analyst, and so her headline says, behavior analyst Kalea Arrington turns clues into convictions. She put a picture with her headline. I printed it out, I made it pretty, we put it in color. Here is another student who wanted to do it's like cybersecurity. So this is her newspaper article, her headline that she created for herself. And then, here's just a example of a parent that filled one out about their kid. So what I did was I had we had a photo shoot, I had a photographer come in, they did their regular student selves, and then we dressed them up the next day in their alter ego selves, becoming whatever it is they want to become. And then I displayed these 21 by 21 huge inch posters after they got created, and then I put the quote that their parent wrote about them in that parent paper next to their picture, and then I put their headline right underneath that. And that alone, that whole impact, how they all came together, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it, was just amazing. And lastly, a couple more things. Everything that I do, even to the small details, I'm extremely intentional with. So not only do I reward the kids by pouring into them, but I also pour into the families. So this is just a gift that when the parents came to the event, they were able to see this. Everybody got one, students and parents. And all these things are reasons why I had a 99% parent success rate in anything that I did. 99% of the parents came to all of my events and participated. Also, literacy is a big thing. Kids hate reading, right? So how can I get kids to read? Well, I found books that appeal to them. I find books that are interesting. And one of the big ones that kids really liked when we dug into it was The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. I don't know if you guys have ever read it. It's a phenomenal read. Oprah Winfrey also did a movie about it. And this went over. We had so much conversation about this book that it was so great. Even the parents, my kids were like, oh, my parent took my book and was reading it. Hands down, it was phenomenal. And then lastly, on my own, I started a nonprofit called Beautiful Mirror. And I was able to implement Beautiful Mirror for teenage girls at the high schools. We met after school twice a month, and then I'm just teaching them all about how they're beautiful, and not just outer beauty, but inner beauty. We're talking about self-esteem, we're talking about being ladies, how to dress, how to speak, how to act when you're on a date, their careers, empowering them to go far in life, to break down the stereotypes that we as women can't do this or shouldn't do that. And that program has been a huge success. I still maintain relationships with all the girls that are in this program and also a part of the Students of Promise program. It doesn't stop. I still have parents calling me. I get invited to Sweet 16s. I get invited to graduation parties. But it's because kids know. Kids know who cares about them and they know who doesn't. And I am one who absolutely love kids. The reason why I do what I do is because there was a lady in high school who took a liking to me. And she totally changed the trajectory of my life. And I commend her for that. And that is my why. So thank you so much for your time. I appreciate all of you guys. And I'll just grab that after the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wright. There are 4 other linkage coordinators just as passionate, and I can say without question that none of them follow the 2-minute rule. Students of Promise, I wanted to do some reflection based on the evaluation that was completed by Case Western Reserve University in 2018. So we reflected 2014, which was the inception, and when I brought the model into the inner rings. You understand it was already in Cleveland, East Cleveland, Columbus, Dayton, Cincinnati. It was all in the Big 8, so to speak. And the reason why it was not in the inner rings, because based on the data and then based on how Senator Prentice created and got the funding, the $20 million, is that the only districts that qualified to apply, if they had a 70% or lower graduation rate of African American males at the time. None of the inner rings had that. It was above that. So that's why a Maple, a Garfield, a Cleveland Heights at that time did not participate in the original model until 2014, when Councilman Jones brings me back from sunny San Francisco, California. But with that said, Students of Promise at Maple had a 93.8% graduation rate of Students of Promise participants from 2014 to 2018, surpassing all school and targeted at-risk groups. As I recall, and the data reflects that there were 33 ninth grade repeaters in the Students of Promise roster when we entered in 2014. Within 4 years, 31 of those students graduated with their class, meaning that June, which would have been their senior year. The remaining 2 students earned enough credits to graduate the following January. There was also, during those 4 years, a consistent positive growth in student GPAs year after year. Behaviorally, there was 17% reduction in suspensions. Behavioral infractions fell most of on the highest needed freshmen who most intensely the linkage coordinators would work with. Some freshmen benefited from interventions because they were robust, they were swift, and they were responsive to their needs. Regarding social and emotional growth, over 60% of students scored good or excellent on the developmental assets profile, outpacing national averages. Summer Bridge program and exposure field trip participants showed significant gains in self-esteem, motivation, and future. I won't go through all that because I can actually send you the actual report in which the county is also looking to find the resources to do the second wave of, now that we're probably 218 to say 222, 224 to get more updated data. So why the reintroduction of Students of Promise now? COVID-19 amplified academic, social, and emotional gaps for vulnerable students, the very population Students of Promise services. The program compensates for limited capacity in traditional systems through our, I believe, expertise-driven mentoring, like Ms. Wright, its flexibility to meet students and families with wraparound support where they are. In addition, which is important, Cuyahoga County Councilman Pernell Jones and the local leadership remain committed to investing in Students of Promise as a proven, scalable, sustainable solution, including the expansion, which came with $250 million in additional funds, ARPA dollars, to launch the homeless and transitional facility. And it's not exclusive to Cleveland Heights. I have to say that, because if there's a bed and there's a family and there's a need, it's not just because it's in Cleveland Heights. If you had a student, if Garfield had a student, if Richmond had a student and a mom that was homeless, they as well can access that resource and be housed in that environment. Students of Promise, I believe, with its proven results, a comprehensive support structure, and unmatched focus on expert leadership, linkage coordinator drawn from the original platform, I believe stands ready to partner with Maple Heights again, and I believe together we can, what all our mission is and our goal are to help our students reach their full potential. I will end on this note because I believe it's important, and something that Ms. Wright tapped into is that our students stay connected to us beyond graduation. Just like I'm still in contact with my up around director, even at 60. I'm still linked to her as she was linked to me at 15 years old. But as we spoke today, I was in court. There's a trial going on as we speak of a student of ours, former student that was killed tragically last year. It's a Cleveland Heights student. He graduated, I think, in 2019. But the mom called me on Friday and said, Bob, can you come? The trial comes today of the person that is charged with that crime. And can you come and sit with me and the family for support? And of course, absolutely. But to me, that is probably indicative of the relationship that Students of Promise, not just myself, but just the initiative, the model, our supporters have wrapped ourselves around students, that some 6 years later, she would like me to sit with the family in hope that justice is for her son, who was probably one of my, you hate to say your favorite student, but he was one of my favorite students, and unfortunately, succumbed to a tragic situation. But to me, that is me saying that this is not just a program, this is not just an initiative. I live this, I was that student, therefore, I believe I try to take this everywhere, Students of Promise has gone. So I thank you for your time. I hope it wasn't too long. I'm definitely here for questions if you have any, and I appreciate the invite.
Thank you so much, Mr. Harper.
Thank you.
You guys have any questions?
I do. Sorry. Hi.
Hi.
When was the last time that the program was in Maple?
I believe 2000, we were just talking about that. Was it 2019 or? Well, no, Students of Promise were not here then. I think there's I identified the CTAG model. There was an RFP that came out, I believe, in 21, and I think that's when there was kind of a clear distinction between CTAG and Students of Promise, its leadership, how it was structured, and so forth. But I believe it had to be at least 2021.
Okay.
It was a little after and around COVID.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. And then what other schools are you in?
Currently, I'm in Cleveland Heights, University Heights School District, and Warrensville Heights School District. I can't celebrate Richmond Heights just yet because their RFP is still in a process, but I'm confident that that is going to work itself through the things that are out of my control. And there's also like 3 CMSD middle schools that have requested, Students of Promise, because working with the 8th graders is also, we're also in the middle schools. So, but right now, officially, Warrensville and Cleveland Heights.
Okay, and one more question. For the program, is it like a cohort model, or like what type of students are you working with? Is it 9 through 12?
Excellent question. It is currently 9 through 12, only because that is the model that we have had the resources to address, but it's designed and can be middle school. I have been in the middle schools. When I went to San Francisco, it was Martin Luther King Jr. Middle School where the program was. So there's a curriculum for both middle school and high school. And I don't know if you ever had the opportunity to meet the late Senator C.J. Prentice, but when she went to the governor to get she actually asked for $100 million. And she got $20 million. The reason why she asked for $100 million, because her plan was when she wanted to start the program in the 4th grade. $100 million wasn't going to fly. We were grateful for the $20 million, but the original plan was to start what you hear and what you've been presented. It was originally designed to start in the 4th grade. And now that I look back 18 years later, I wonder where would we be if we started 4th graders with this back then. Where would those students be today?
I have a follow-up question. So for the students who are involved in this program, do they have to sign up for it, or are you the ones picking them? Like, how do you choose those students?
That was a great question. Haven't heard those questions in a while. It's a collaborative effort because we go on your data. You know, there are certain risk factors. When in Columbus, we said if a student has missed at least 25 days of school, if a student had 5 days of in-school or out-of-school suspension, if a student failed a major course, if a student was court-involved or court-supervised, if a student had repeated a grade, if a student performed below basic on a standardized test, and or if a student was referred by the school, then that is a student that was felt to be at risk. So everything that I just mentioned is based on your data, based on your referral. But we have students, and Ms. Wright could testify, we have 4.0, 3.8 doing great students that are homeless, that have suicide ideation, that have some of the most horrific dynamics in their lives, and they still have a 3.8. So you say, well, why is she in this program? Because there's more to it to success than academic achievement.
Right.
And it's the whole student and the whole child. And I was so glad when we went to Morehouse a few years ago to hear Morehouse at their baccalaureate say that it's not just academic. I'm not a Morehouse man. If I had to do it all over again, I probably would be. However, it's more to it than academics. We service the whole child as they come to us, and that's what Students Promise attempts to do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm also, Chuck Belcher is here, and he's working on a project about Maple Heights, so he wanted to share it with the board.
Thank you very much for letting me speak with you. By the way, is that a Hawaiian dress?
No, but maybe
It was my birthday last Wednesday, 74th birthday. And,
Happy birthday.
Congratulations.
I lived in Hawaii for 40 years.
Oh, wow.
1976 to 2016, you know. So I'll be done in 2 minutes, but I just want to hit all the points, you know. So, and I thank you for letting me come and speak with you, okay? Okay. Why am I back in Cleveland? You know, I was living in Hawaii for 40 years, right? You know, kind of stupid, right? But Cleveland went 50 years without a sports championship. Remember those days, you know? But I always said every day I was in Hawaii, if Cleveland could never win a championship, I'd come back home. I'm from Cleveland Heights, okay? So in 2016, they won it, right, with LeBron James. So, you know, I'm back home. Okay, so. I was also a social worker at Mercer Taylor. Okay, so. Back in 1960, I'm a wrestling historian, okay, so back in 1969, with Coach Milkovich in the Maple Heights gym, I wrestled against a guy named Flaherty from Maple Heights. He beat me 11-3. Okay, no big deal, but you know. He died, Milkovich died about 4 years ago, you know. There was a book called The Mustang. I don't know if you ever heard of it, by a guy named Caitlin, about Maple Heights and stuff like that. So, you know, my book will not be the first one. I've been working on it for 12 years already. So, you know. But they had a party for Mike Milkovich back in every year, like 2016, 2017, and I just come back to Cleveland, right? I still feel like I'm 18 years old because when I left when I was 19, 20 years old, you know, Hawaii is so beautiful. Every day is 68 degrees. I mean, you don't lose a step, you know. So I have the same energy I had when I left. You know, I feel that 40 years went like that, you know. You been to Hawaii, anybody? It's nice.
I want to go.
You'll love it. Come with $3,000, get a job, you know, because, you know, it's going to take, you know, you're going to run through a couple thousand, but then if you can make it after like a month or two, you're there forever. It's so beautiful. Okay, so anyways, in this party of 2016, I found out some information that I didn't know, so I researched it, okay? And it's earth-shattering, stuff that I didn't know anything about it, but I researched it. It's phenomenal, and it all has to do with, by the way, back in '69, the Maple Heights cheerleaders were the prettiest ones in the city, okay? They were cute, very cute. Anyways, it's this book is going to be earth-shattering for Maple Heights High School, because you guys are the focus of it, okay? So it's about the Milkovich family, okay? So I don't know, I was maybe a couple weeks ago, since the book is about due in September, I said, okay, I'll talk to the principal of the high school, see if we can have an assembly, so we can like announce this earth-shattering thing, and Holly had mentioned, well, why don't you talk to the supervisor, So anyways, that's why I'm here. So if I could get any help, or if you really thought that it was worthwhile, that I think it's a really big deal, and that I want to promote the book a little bit, and I don't really care about that, but it's going to promote Maple Heights High School. So if there's any way that we could work together, to really build something up, because it's earth-shattering, the information I come out with. And I didn't know none of it. If it wasn't for LeBron, if it wasn't for Kyrie Irving hitting that, was a three-pointer, I'd still be in Hawaii. I wouldn't know nothing about this stuff. But I know now a lot of great information that's going to put Maple Heights more on the map than it ever was. That's all I got to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So when is your book out, sir?
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
What's that?
When will your book be out?
I hope September the 1st. Okay, so
Got
thanks
it.
for asking that. Any other questions? Okay, so hopefully you guys can work together on this one. We can all become more famous than we already are.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, now we'll have a report from our treasurer.
Okay. First, I have a resolution to approve the minutes from the June 23rd regular and the June 30th special meeting.
Okay, so the treasurer's asking us to approve the board minutes from the June 23rd, 2025 regular meeting and the June 30th special meeting. Can I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Any discussion? Okay, Ms. Baldwin, can I have a roll call, please?
Okay, Ms. Shepherd,
Yes.
Ms. Cheeks,
Yes.
Ms. Granger,
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell.
Yes.
Next, I have a resolution to approve the monthly financials for June.
I'm sorry, Connie, can you just speak up a little more? I can't hear.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I have a resolution to approve the financial report for June.
Okay. So the treasurer is asking us to approve the financial report for June. Any discussion?
I will just get a motion first, and
Yes.
then I'll discuss.
You have a motion to approve the monthly report?
So move.
Second.
All right, Ms. Baldwin, can we have a roll call?
Yeah, I was just going to point out quickly that So the fiscal year has been closed for 2025, ending in June. Today was my first official day as treasurer, so jumped in with both feet and have been very happy, very welcomed here. I had a welcome to the team banner in my office, and it's just been a great start to my tenure here. So, and I'm following up on some things that are still open. Our audit from 2024, I've reached out to the state auditors to see where we're at with that, and just some of the things that are ongoing over the summer to get ready for the new school year. So excited to be here and appreciate it.
Awesome. We're glad you're here.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Okay, go ahead. Roll call.
Roll call. Okay, Ms. Shepherd,
Yes.
Ms. Granger,
Yes.
Ms. Cheeks,
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Ms. Baldwin. Now can we have a motion to approve the agenda?
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? Ms. Baldwin, can we have a roll call, please?
Ms. Shepherd,
Yes.
Ms. Cheeks,
Yes.
Ms. Granger,
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell.
Yes. Next, we'll move to new business. The first subject is A, Pampa refinishing and remodeling agreements. The superintendent recommends approval to enter into agreement with Pampa refinishing and remodeling to provide wood floor finishing services pertaining to district gym floors in a total amount of $20,454 per attached estimates. So as you guys can see, there's the cost for each gym floor. Any discussion regarding this?
I have a question.
Sure. Ms. Granger?
Do we don't have like our own equipment for the floor?
You want to come up? You want to come up? Yeah.
So,
Did you hear the
Dr.
question?
Nyamyake,
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so I got two questions. Is this like do we get this done every year or, and then the second question is like, do we have the equipment to like do it ourselves or not?
This is done every year. We typically do this late July, early August in preparation for the upcoming school year. We do not have the equipment, but in addition to not having the equipment, we don't have the skill set amongst our staff to be able to do this particular work.
Okay. That's it.
thank you.
Thank you.
So can I have a motion to approve the refinishing and remodeling?
So move.
Second.
Ms. Baldwin, can we have a roll call, please?
Ms. Shepherd,
Yes.
Ms. Cheeks,
Yes.
Ms. Granger,
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell.
Yes. Next is subject B, Wonder Grow agreements. The superintendent recommends approval to enter into agreement with Wonder Grow to provide cleanup and miscellaneous landscaping services to the district in a total amount of $30,587.40 per attached. So the services include cleanups, mulch, pruning, lawn fertilization, and playground enhancements. Any discussion revolving this agreement? Seeing none, give a motion to approve.
So move.
Baldwin, can we have a roll call, please?
Ms. Shepherd,
Yes.
Ms. Cheeks,
Yes.
Ms. Granger,
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell.
Yes. Next is subject C, Crescent Digital LLC agreement. Superintendent recommends approval of the service and maintenance agreement with Crescent Digital LLC for the technology of the Wiley Athletic Center in the amount of $11,109.98 for the period September 1st through August 31st of 2026.
Yes, so all of the new equipment that we got, all the new technology equipment, because it is brand new, they offer a service plan to go along with it. Mark provided this recommendation just so they can service anything that we would need there. So they do preventative maintenance, all of the things that are listed here. If they have to come out, they would charge us, so that cost is listed here. And they can also do some remote support for licensing and for the software.
So they charging us $11,000 plus if they have to come out additional,
No, this is the total cost for the year.
just for the year?
Yes.
Do we have to do this every year then?
No,
Okay.
no. And we're doing it as a level of precaution,
Right.
preventative. If there are issues, then they would service it for this year.
Got it.
Any other questions? Okay, so can I have a motion to approve this agreement?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Baldwin, can we have a roll call, please?
Ms. Shepherd,
Yes.
Ms. Granger,
Yes.
Ms. Cheeks,
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell.
Yes. Next is subject D, Ohio Basement Authority Agreements. The superintendent recommends approval of the agreements with Ohio Basement Authority to repair services and to provide a 3-year service and maintenance plan in the amount of $30,575.40 as indicated. And the site cost breakdowns are as followed below.
So I have a couple of questions about this, so it's this one we wanted to
Yeah.
also. So I need to know what maintenance is being done at the high school, the middle school, and the elementary, because when I went to the file attachment, just for the high school by itself, it was talking about floors. So it had me kind of confused, like, okay, so we're going to floors somewhere else, now we're going to floors here. So maybe it was just a mistake. So can you tell me what are they going to be doing for $12,000, $10,000, $7,000 for each school?
So this particular proposal is not for floors. This is external. This is concrete, the grounds.
I saw the contract.
So throughout our district, just over the years, due to the age and of the grounds, snow plows going over the cement, et cetera, some of the cement in areas has become uneven and it's unsafe. Traditionally, or in the past, you used to just simply break up that cement and then you would just re-cement it. But there's a more cost-effective way of doing that, and that's offered through the Ohio Basement Authority Agreement. Basically, what they do is all of these uneven areas on the campus, they drill holes into that cement, and then they fill it with a foam. That foam will fill in any holes underneath the cement and then ultimately bring that cement up and make it level. Once again, the goal here is to make the grounds safer and avoid those trip hazards, but also aesthetically, it's going to improve the appearance of our grounds as well. So that's what this particular company is doing. It's not floors. Once again, it's external and it's cement leveling throughout our campuses.
Okay, so did you compare prices with other places besides here?
We compare with one other location, and that location's price was more than this particular location. And then they also provided us a discount as part of a promotional program.
Okay, so can you try to get, or did you try to get grants to kind of offset this price here? Because, I mean, it's kind of high.
No, we did not pursue grants for this service. But if that's something that the board desires, we can put this particular project on hold, explore other opportunities.
I think we should, I think we should go see if we can get grants for it. I'm sorry. I just thought that was a whole lot of money, so.
At this time, I'm not aware of any particular grants that will cover this type of service, but if that's what the board desires, we will explore that and put that particular project on hold.
Yeah, just taking up Ms. Cheeks' idea, I mean, if you could just report back at the next meeting or have Superintendent Delafleur report back and let us know. If there's no grants for it, then, you know, we can make a decision after that point, but at least we can look into it and see.
Certainly.
If there's something out there.
Certainly.
And question, the 30,000 is for the entire 3 years?
Well, the 30,000 is for the initial service.
Okay.
And once again, that is broken down,
Right.
as you can see, by campus. And then included with that initial service of leveling that cement across the board, there is a 3-year service agreement where they would come out, you know, check it. If for some reason that that cement were to drop in a particular area within that 3-year time frame, they would correct that at no additional cost.
At no cost? Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So we are going to table this for now. Great. Next is new business line items. Disposal of obsolete, outdated items. So the superintendent recommends the disposal or resale of obsolete, outdated items from the Wiley Athletic Center as indicated. Any discussion regarding discarding the obsolete items? Seeing none, can we have a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
Ms. Baldwin, can we have a roll call, please?
Ms. Shepherd,
Yes.
Ms. Cheeks,
Yes.
Ms. Granger,
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell.
Yes. Next is subject B, new germ. The superintendent recommends approval to purchase new case lockable phone cases and unlocking stations for Maple Heights High School students in the amount of $19,239,000 as indicated. So, Superintendent Delafleur, you'd like to expand a little bit on this?
Sure, I actually brought
Show and tell.
some examples if you guys want to see them.
I looked at the video.
Okay. So as with any initiative new, you know, we use the Yonder bags. Right now, we haven't really experienced large issues at the middle school or at Obama with the Yonder bags, but several of the bags were damaged, broken, at the high school. So I asked Asim, Mr. Rose, to explore if there were other things out there that we could try, because obviously we'll need to, you know, start at the beginning of the year, because now there's the whole ban in the whole state of Ohio, which luckily Maple Heights was ahead of the curve, so we've already gotten our students. So we wanted to purchase these just for the high school next year to try them out. Some of the benefits that Mr. Rose, that we talked about is those are clear, versus the Yonder bags were not. So unfortunately, some students were putting more things in there, or they would start putting like multiple phones into one Yonder bag. So they believe that these will be a little bit quicker because you can see exactly what's in there, with them going through security. So we want to buy those for the high school, test them out and see how they do, and then I guess go from there. But we know that the Yonder bags have, at the high school, we need to have another solution.
How do they open these?
There's like a little stand that it's like an unlocking device too, that you put the bottom on and it unlocks. And we also plan on keeping those at the building. I'm gonna talk with the team, we're gonna make sure we get everything approved, instead of maybe the kids taking them home every day.
That's what I'm about to say, cause then what if,
See if that helps.
and then what if they get broken? Like, what's the charge?
Those cost, I think what did I put down
think you
for the
said
cost?
it was like
Yeah,
$17.
$17.95, so probably with shipping, they probably be about 20. The yonder bags are like 35, because they're $30 for each yonder bag, plus the $5 shipping or whatever, so it'd probably be $20 for the replacement or the damage repair fee, if you included the shipping and the cost of the box.
I just know our kids.
I know, we tested it before the meeting. We
No,
did.
they was testing it,
On the video, I gotta
They
watch the
was
video.
stepping all on
No, I
it.
get that, but it looks like it's
Something, a screw.
like a screw or something that you could push this out. Our kids are very smart. They found a way to get in the yonder bag. I'm just being honest.
I mean, it's always gonna be something, so. Yeah.
Just send them back up.
I like it because it's clear.
Cause it's clear, yeah.
Mhm. So any other discussion regarding the new cases?
I like it.
I mean, it'll make
But she
stuff,
know because she had kids.
it'll make stuff go faster.
Yeah,
But I'll know by the middle of the school year or
If
something.
it works
I
or
feel
not.
like it's all gonna be trial and
Somebody
error
gonna
for a
come
while.
by
Yeah.
and say,
yeah, I agree.
"Get a new note."
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree.
Nothing's childproof.
Yeah, nothing is child.
See that young lady there? She's got that look like,
They're gonna figure it out.
she's like, mm.
She gonna report back.
All right,
Yeah.
so can I have a motion to approve these new cases?
So move.
Second.
All right, Ms. Baldwin, can we have a roll call, please?
Ms. Shepherd,
Yes.
Ms. Cheeks,
Yes.
Ms. Granger,
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell.
Yes. We will see how it goes.
Yeah.
I feel like we won't find a good thing. It's gonna be like 5 years before they find something that's really
I don't
legit.
think so,
I think it takes 5 years to figure things out.
All right, now we move to resolutions.
No, I'm talking about
res-
how to protect the funds.
Resolution number 2583, resolution authorizing acceptance of Hartford Life and Accident Insurance Company. Give us a little more
I'll
details
actually
of that.
speak to A and B because they go together.
Okay.
So, we have an insurance committee for the district, and periodically, we may have to change carriers. So with our life insurance carrier, we need to move to, Hartford Life Accident, Insurance, and we currently have MetLife. So one of these is to move on to Hartford Life Accident that will carry the accident life insurance for the district. And the other one is just to terminate the previous one with MetLife.
Okay. So it's a better deal for you, basically, or?
Yeah, I believe you know how things switch based
Yeah.
on who you're. So I don't sit on the insurance committee, that's the treasurer, but Connie wasn't here, so I'm not sure. We can give you that information exactly of what the changes are.
Okay. All right. Any other questions about the acceptance of Hartford and termination of MetLife?
Do we have to vote in individual or we can vote together? We gotta vote for A and then B.
We can probably vote for these together, couldn't we? Because they're, yeah.
I think that's a good deal.
Can I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
Okay. Ms. Baldwin, can I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Shepherd,
Yes.
Ms. Granger,
Yes.
Ms. Cheeks,
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell.
Yes. Next is subject C, resolution number 2585, resolution declaring transportation by school conveyance impractical for certain identified students and offering to provide payment in lieu of transportation. Stella Fleur, you want to expand on this one a bit?
Yeah, so we will probably be bringing several of these forward. These are, when the charter schools request transportation from the public school districts, if we deem it to be impractical, such as if you don't have enough students, or, you know, there's one student who goes to the charter school, the distance is, more than 30 minutes away from us, there's a whole list of things, we can deem that it's impractical for us to transport to the charter school. So as of today, we have these 4 that we deemed we cannot transport them. So they're entitled, per the state, that we give them a payment in lieu of. So if we're not providing transportation, then we, at the end of the year, after they verify that they've attended the charter school, then we write a check to their parent that pays them whatever. The state has a different number they come up with each year that we refund to the parent. Say, well, we didn't provide transportation via our school bus, but per the state, you can get reimbursed this amount of money because your child, we didn't give transportation. So far, these are the students that we, these are the schools, the charter schools, and the students that we are saying it's impractical for us to provide transportation for them.
So can I have a motion to approve this resolution?
So move.
Second.
Ms. Baldwin, can I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Shepherd,
Yes.
Ms. Cheeks,
Yes.
Ms. Granger,
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell.
Yes. Next is subject D, resolution number 2586, resolution approving non-employee agreement with Belfair JCB. So motion to approve this resolution.
This one, I'm sorry. Yeah. So can you come? Okay.
Was there a question?
She was just asking if they could, these all could go together, but
Oh, okay.
I can explain when you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So the, resolution 2586, resolution 2587, resolution 2588, resolution 2590. These are all, you know, we contract out with several outside agencies to help us provide special education services. So the JCB, they have a school, a special education school. They also have services that they provide. The LLA therapy, they also provide special education services, so that's another vendor that we work with. The ESC, there's actually 2 on there because one provides, one contract is for visually impaired services for our visually impaired students, and then the other contract is for audiology or hearing impaired services. The resolution 2589, which is G, that was coupled in there as services, but it does, it will provide interpretation services for us. So if we have parents who speak a different language, they don't speak English, then we would utilize those services. So they provide their rate sheet of how much they would charge us. Sometimes if we have, most of the time we use translation services, it's for IEP meetings. So that's why it's all coupled in with the special ed contracts. We can also use the translation for other items, but the majority of times when we would need to use translation services would be for IEP meetings. So all of those are special education contracts. So that would be D through H.
So can I have a motion to approve D through H?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Baldwin, can I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Granger,
Yes.
Ms. Shepherd,
Yes.
Ms. Cheeks,
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell.
Yes. Next is the consent agenda. Instead of floor, we're going to do B through,
B through J.
okay. Any discussion regarding B through J?
Yes, I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
For 2581, I know you spoke on for the athletic director. So did you find out if he had a principal license?
Yes, he does.
Okay, and so how long he been a principal now?
He's
How
been
long was he?
a principal, I don't know exactly, but more than 10 years.
More than 10 years? Okay.
But I can get that number to you.
Okay, and for 2582, you have her as an assistant principal?
Yes.
So you have a principal here? Because I'm just saying, for the early childhood care, how many kids do you have there to have a principal and an assistant principal?
Well, this is we reallocated the preschool coordinator. That we're now it has a new title of early childhood assistant principal. So they're gonna be housed in the building instead of here in central office.
Okay, so, because maybe I'm getting confused, do you have a principal here too?
Yes, at Lincoln.
Okay,
We used to have a principal and we had a preschool coordinator. But the preschool coordinator was kind of like a central office and there. So we moved it to, it was previously an administrative position. Then they moved it to not be an administrator, and we're moving it back to be an administrative position because of all of the special ed and things that are involved with our preschool, early childhood.
okay, so how many kids are in this program that you?
Well, they're going to be helping with the whole Lincoln's.
With the whole Lincoln
Right.
School? Okay.
Right.
All right, okay.
Their primary focus is going to be at preschool because the other thing is, right now, the principal at Lincoln, she's doing all the evaluations at Lincoln. So for all the teachers, all the preschool, all the paras. So by placing an administrative position there, she also can do the evaluation,
Yeah.
help with evaluations at the school.
Okay,
Yeah,
All right.
I know that's been a big concern for some time now. And Ms. Beth Sutter had that all by herself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so,
okay. I do.
any other questions? Seeing none, can have a motion to approve
So
B
moved.
through J?
Oh, sorry. So moved.
Ms. Baldwin, can we roll call, please?
Ms. Shepherd,
Yes.
Ms. Granger,
Yes.
Ms. Cheeks,
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell.
Yes. Now we're at the part of our meeting for public participation. So if anyone would like to come up and speak, this is your time to do so. We just ask for your name and your address. Okay, seeing none, we are going to move into executive session for number 1. No action will be taken.
There actually might be action.
Oh, there might be action.
Yes.
Okay.
I got something added this afternoon, so there may be action after executive.
Sorry, Mr. Cavada. All right, can I have a motion to move into executive session?
So move.
Second. I'm going to the bathroom.
She approves.
Can I have a mo- roll
Ms.
call?
Shepherd?
Yes.
Ms. Cheeks?
Yes.
Ms. Granger approves?
Yes.
And Mr. Blackwell?
Yes, we are now in executive session at 7:24. Thank you all for coming out.
Thanks again.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. See ya.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.